Hello again. I'm so excited to be here and I'm super grateful for this opportunity to be talking to you. I'm going to start the day by talking about the least favorite subject of all vegans, ex-vegans. Now, some of you might know people who at some point in their life were vegan, but now they have gone back to exploiting animals. And that can be really frustrating, especially when we are so few in numbers. Now, what's the reason? Like, what's the trend? Like, why are people becoming ex-vegans? So let's take a deep dive into the stats around it. Now, we don't have a definitive numbers of how many people go back to exploiting animals, but there are metrics that can help us determine like what's the trend like. So according to the market research company called GWI, number of people who identify as vegans have dropped by 29% in Europe and it's 15% in the UK. Investment in plant-based startups have gone down by like from 1.2 billion in 2022 to 309 million in 2025. And this is evident in the fact that sales of plant-based meat alternatives have gone down as well. According to the consumer intelligence firm NIQ, data shows that sales of frozen and chilled plant-based meat alternatives have gone down by 21% in June 2024 as comparison to other previous 2 years. And there have been several reports, and you might also be aware of vegan places shutting down or they introducing animal products in the menu to survive. Just an example, this is the list of vegan places, all vegan places back in 2020 in Glasgow, which is where I live currently. And this photo is taken from the plant-based treaty leaflet. Now in 2025, this list is down to just 5 places which are open and vegan. So all these stats don't seem to paint a very good picture of veganism, but is it really as bad as it seems? For that, let us take a look at these stats again. Now, many of these companies, when they do a survey like this, they seem to have a loose definition of veganism. They consider people who have tried plant-based food for a month or two, and if they go back to eating animal products, so they are thought of as ex-vegans. But we all know that eating plant-based food for a month doesn't make you vegan. And there is no doubting that sales of plant-based meat alternatives have gone down. But that's not saying that it's due to people quitting veganism. It could very well be that non-vegans who are trying plant-based meat alternatives, they are not doing it anymore. And that could very well be because of the ultra-processed propaganda spread by meat companies. And also, like in post-COVID world, sustaining a small-scale business is extremely challenging because of the rising costs. It could be like vegan businesses or non-vegan businesses. All of them are struggling if they are not well established. And that can't be the sole, like dropping in people being vegan can't be the sole reason for all these businesses shutting down. If I were to ask every one of you, like, is ex-vegans even a thing? I think many of you would say, no, it isn't. It's not ex-vegans, it's ex-plant-based, you'd say. But unfortunately, there are people who go back to consuming animals after being vegan for several years. So what is the reason? Why are people, becoming ex-vegans? So here are the list of common reasons why people become, ex-vegans. First is societal pressure. We live in a non-vegan world where eating and consuming animal products is thought of as cultural and something that's natural. But we all know that's nothing. There's nothing natural about consuming animals, making them suffer and stuff like that. So it can be challenging for vegans sometimes to navigate through life if everyone around you is taking part in animal exploitation. And it might seem like blending in the crowd of non-vegans might be an easy way out. Some people go vegan for reasons like personal reasons like health or environment or whatever. So they are not driven by the ethical aspect of veganism. So they are more likely to falter because they are doing it for their own benefits. Also, it's true that being non-vegan is far easier than being vegan in the current world. And like if you are dependent on others, or if you are in a circumstance where cooking is not something that you could do on your own, then it is challenging to stay vegan in those circumstances. And we are all brought up believing that you need to consume animals or animal products in order to live. Without it, you might not be healthy. And our health system is also designed around it. So if vegans fall sick, it is likely that they are advised by their doctors and medical professionals that they need to start consuming animal products. Now, what is the solution to all these problems? To arrive at the solution, if we look at the root cause of all these problems, it is that we live in a non-vegan world and there aren't enough vegans. So if we had many people in the society who are vegan, and if it was the normal thing to do, nobody would feel the social pressure of consuming animals. Also, if there were many of us, if there were enough vegans, then we wouldn't need strong conviction to stay vegan. Just like non-vegans don't need strong conviction to stay non-vegan in current world. And by having more vegans, it would automatically mean increase in options. Like it would also mean that vegans wouldn't have to struggle no matter where they go for food or for anything else. And if more and more number of people go vegan, then that would also bring about a change in health sector as well. To give you an example, I come from a part of the world where vegetarianism is so common. It's not where veganism, unfortunately, but people don't eat meat. Now, when people get sick and when they go to doctors in that part of the world, they are never ever advised to eat meat. Vegetarianism is so common that eating meat is not even thought of as an option. So that shows you that, if you have a society made up of people sharing the same ethical beliefs, then that would bring about a change in the whole system. So how can we change the society? How can we make more people vegan? It's by people who have already taken that step of doing the right thing, of being vegan. If they raise their voice against animal exploitation, that would be a possibility. I had this in my last year's presentation as well, and just a reminder, if 1% of current vegans, if they helped one person in a whole year to do the right thing by going vegan, and if that person also did the same thing, then we would have a vegan world in 15 years. That doesn't seem like a difficult thing to do, does it? Just helping one person make that change in a year. So let us all raise our voice for the voiceless, and let's make this world a better place to live for all the animals. I will end the talk by saying one of my favorite quotes, which is, "We can sleep when we are dead. Until we are alive, let's keep fighting." Thank you.